Hello, hello. Happy Sunday, everybody. All right. I'm finishing up some items from my last DIY just to show you how to put them together. And let me start with the colors used. This is for all of them. So the orange I used is Pumpkin by Waverly, and it's chalk paint. The black I used is Waverly Ink by Chalk Paint by Waverly. The purple I used is Passion by Delta. And the white that I used is Plaster Chalk Paint by Waverly as well. All right, you are caught up with colors. And if I use any different colors, I will talk about them as I go along. So I think after this video, we're all caught up with almost everything that I made on sold on the DIY sale. That way you guys know how to put everything together. Once you get all of your kits in the mail, you could always refer back to my page here for 30 days. It's only going to be up for a month. And if you want to see old videos, you can go to my YouTube channel, which is Crafted by Yvonne. And all of the videos will be up on there. Okay. Let me see. Let me see. I did stain all of the pieces with Minwax Early American, just in case you're wondering. I stained these pieces and then I just painted the tops of them, just so you know how I did that. Oh, the green I used here was Forest Green by Deco Art. So we're going to stick that guy on there. All right. Hello, Peggy. All right, let's get started. Everything's kind of I'm making a lot of projects, so it's a little crowded, but we're good. We're going to get this done. What should we start with? Okay, I'm going to pull out some Poodle Script Pink by Deco Art, and I'm going to paint the little vintage ghost ears. Now, a lot of you did not purchase these vintage ghosts, and I get that some people do not like vintage, but I just want to show you how cute they are to put together for those of you who did. How fun and easy it is to put together. So I'm just going to paint the little ghost has a scored line where the cheeks go, making it easier for you to know where to paint. It's like color by numbers, but no numbers. Color by whatever color you want. Now, once you paint over the scored lines, it is kind of hard to see sometimes. So just so you know that that's the case. How's everybody's weekend going? It's almost over. Bummer, bummer. I have been coming up with new designs for Christmas. I'm super excited about. Hello, Lori. The items I've been working on in my my subscription group, super cute. I love the way they're turning out. I did a 3-series part to a set, which I don't know if anybody's going to sell like that. If any of you if any of you customers like to buy, look out for my subscribers who will be making either all of it or parts of them to sell. Really cute Santa. And all right, so I'm just going to give this one little coat. Poodle Script Pink covers up pretty well, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. All right, so that is done. So this doesn't need any shading or anything, but it does need a nose. So let me grab the pumpkin, my Waverly pumpkin. And and if you have some stencils that you've made that you've purchased from me that have the ovals, go ahead and use one of those if you don't feel comfortable doing this by hand. Like, I'm going to regret doing this by hand because it's turning out all wonky. Let me move this aside here. Hard when you have all this stuff right in front of your face and you have this little tiny area to work on. And it's so warm in here that it's drying up pretty fast. It's going to be another 97 day today here in Southern California, guys. Hot, hot. But we are going to cooler weather, hopefully. We're going to be on vacation beginning next Saturday. So as I mentioned in my last live, if you have any orders that you would like me to ship out before next week, please get me that order numbers and I will work on that. Okay. And then for this guy, I'm going to go ahead and use Deep Burgundy. See if, oh, it's maybe too red, but we're going to wing it. We're going to wing it. Oh, yeah, this is fine. I'm going to make his little square. I like to have the samples here so you guys can see what I'm working on. The problem is there's a lot of samples. If you have any questions as I'm on in my live, go ahead and ask me. You can even ask me, send me a direct message after the fact if you have any questions. All right, let's let this dry. This one's a little transparent. And actually, now that, oh no, I'm going to get some burnt umber out on my palette, and we're going to shade the pumpkin lines on here. And I'm just going to wing it again. You could use a chalk pencil if you'd like to kind of know where it goes. I'm going to wing this. Let's see if I can not mess this up. There's not much shading on these, which is great. Okay, I'm just going to start kind of on the edge here and just swoop around. I'm going to grab a little bit more paint. Just like that. Just like that. Perfect. And then we're going to sand the edges, so we don't even have to do any of that. So let's give this another small coat. And then let's dry this nose so we can give this another coat. And on my last live, I showed you guys how to get your tags that cleaned up. I just used 120 grit sandpaper. Let's just give this one more coat. And while that's drying, let's go ahead and sand these two tags that we're going to use on our projects. So I get this 120 grit sandpaper. It's pretty rough. And with the grain of the wood, I'm just going to sand off most of that. And there we go. See the difference? Nice and clean. You don't have those burnt marks. We're going to do the witches in as well. I had somebody reach out to me that wanted to order the tags alone, which I mentioned that I will do. So just let me know in your message if you're interested in any of these. I have the Witches in, Ghost, Scary, and Booyah. There we go. And that's all you do to clean that up. Okay, I need to put the AC on. Alexa, turn on the Den AC. Okay. So now what I want to do is I'm going to get a bigger flat brush. Where is that other brush? Here it is. Okay. Oh, maybe this little one. And I'm going to water down some pumpkin color. So we're basically doing a wash for the cheeks. The trick to this is try to just do one coat, like don't keep going over it. And I'm going to wing this. Try to make a perfect circle. And then just lift up, just like that. So you just kind of want a sheer color. This one looks a little smaller. Let's just, there we go. And that's it. And then on these cheeks, you're going to do deep burgundy. I'm just using a flat brush and water. For those people in just so you know, I kind of take it a little slower sometimes in my subscription group, just so that they get the technique a little bit more. Don't have the time for this, but it's just watered down. Paint. This is not a circle. There we go. All done. So then what we're going to do is pick up that deep burgundy, and I'm going to just, with the edge of my brush, pick up some burnt umber so I could shade the bottom of this guy's nose. See if we can get some color at the bottom here. Okay, and then with the pumpkin, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do pumpkin, and I did red on here, or deep burgundy, but I think I'm gonna just do burnt umber on this one. Trying to keep with the rustic colors. I don't know why my phone doesn't always. Oops. Whoops. I did one way, then I did the other way. And since this is dry, I'm going to clean that off with my finger. I'm going to go ahead and do the cheeks at the bottom. And then this is still a little wet, so let's just wait a little bit on that. Good, good, good. Let's dry this up a little bit. So see, you could use red, so you can see the difference here that it's a little bit brighter than this one, but since, drop some water on there. Since I kind of want more of a primitive look, I decided to just do brown. I'm going to do brown on this cheeks as well. So I'm going to load my brush with deep burgundy, and then the edge do burnt umber. Just like that, just to give it some color at the bottom. Okay, then let's get some more pumpkin, and we're going to shade the bow on this little guy. And we're just going to go right underneath here. And then we're going to separate the little knot. And put color on the edges of the bow. Just like that. Okay. Now with plaster and sable brown, I'm going to shade this ghost, the vintage ghost. We all getting geared up for fall things now, or are we on Christmas? What you working on? It's got to be the best time for crafters, I feel. And we're just putting color on the edge here of this little ghost. It's getting on my pink. Don't get on my pink. My brush is too big, so it's going right there. Okay, and let's just go ahead and go underneath his neck as well. I'm going to try to go on the edge because I don't want to get on my cheek again. Oops. Just like that. And that is done. These are done. That's done. I have to sand these. All right, we're moving and grooving, guys. Moving and grooving. Okay. Let's go ahead, because there's so many projects. I have to keep track of what I need to do. We are going to, I painted this marigold. Then I'm going to paint real gold over it. So let's do that really quick. If I can find my gold here. And I'm using DecoArt Glorious Gold, my favorite. Love the way it dries. It dries really fast. And I like to put this piece of paper, my subscribers know, just because it, you know, if I want to wipe something off that's drier, it's just a piece of Xerox paper. I know it sounds crazy, but that's just what I do. So we'll give this a couple coats. Let's let that dry. Be careful with gold in the water. If you use it again on something else, it'll put metallic all over it. So, okay. So if you notice, I did not sand the edges of this letter B on here, but I think I'm going to on this one just to make it a little different. And I'm just going to sand the edges. Try to keep a little primitive, more rustic look. And then we're going to sand the leaf So we gave this a couple of coats. We're just going to sand it. Even sand the top. Okay, and then we're going to sand the ghost, just the edges. And you'll see that the brown comes up underneath from where I stained it. A little rough there, but that's okay. I got a new tack cloth and I'm just going to wipe it off there. See how it came off a little bit? It's okay because I wanted it to be primitive, so it's fine. And then do the edges of the pumpkin as well, and then use a tack cloth and wipe that off. And then clean this up. See, and that's another reason when I sand, most of it goes on here and it comes right off. Okay. Let's do a little bit more on this letter B. Now that I got it all over here. All right. You're doing 4th of July, Judy? You're hilarious. Getting ready for next year. I like it. That means you're way ahead of the game, right? Okay. I hope you guys find that my kits are really easy, especially the ones that I sell on my business page. That's kind of my thing, is that it makes it easy so that you feel accomplished when it's done and not too much detail, and tools to help you get through it. Okay, and then with burnt umber, I'm just going to dip my brush on the edge and then put some color on this buckle. Now the stencil, if you bought the stencil for the witch's hat, will have a stencil for the buckle. So you can just lay it on top and then paint it. Since it is darker colors, you probably want to give it a coat of white, and then you can finish the rest of it. Okay, that's done. That's done. Oh, we need to sand also. Shoot, more sanding. This witch's hat. So I painted it black, and then a passion for the band, the hat band. And I'm just going to sand the edges. You could even go right on top if you want it more of a rustic look. And we're going to ink all of these. Uh-oh, did I get... I don't know what that is. Oh, made a big old dot. Okay. And then here's the shoe that I painted black and passion. And again, you can go right on top if you want to take more of it off. Just want it rustic. Okay. Let me just wipe up some with my tack cloth. Dust all over. Okay. We're ready. Okay, let's get some black paint so we can finish the eyes on this ghost. Thank you, Carol, and thank you for coming to my page. I don't know if you know much about me, but I sell kits, and I have a subscription group. Teaches you how to paint. All right, I'm going to use a 2-aught liner, and I'm just going to roll my brush into the paint, take a little gob at the end, and I'm just going to plop it down, and then let's just go ahead and use the same brush. It's a little thick, but let's see if we can. And I'm just going to do something like that. And I don't have to put a tooth on it if I don't want. Okay, then I'm going to pick up a glob and then set it down, and then do a little, ooh. All right. Okay, and then we're going to get a liner, a thinner liner, a 10-aught liner, if I could find it. And of course I can't find it. It hides from me all the time. Yeah, I have a lot of stencils that I sell. That makes this a lot easier. This one wasn't a big stencil one, but my vintage ones do have stencils, and I'll show you that. So we just put cute little faces on this guy. We're just going to put a little highlight, and we're done with him. I don't know if I want a tooth. Maybe, do I want a tooth? No. I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to leave this one without a tooth. Okay. So these basically are done. Let me get antique wax just so I can finish these off for this letter B. And I will show it to you guys in a little bit. The letter B needs a little bit of antique since I didn't stain this one. I just want to get some color on it. And I'm going to leave this out because I don't want it to get wet. And then all I'm going to do is get some wood glue and glue the letter B. If this didn't get clogged up, it would be great. Take that little piece off. Ooh. Uh-oh, let me take that off. And we're just going to glue the letter B on here. And then we're going to get some wood glue. I mean, not wood glue. Hot glue. And just set this little piece here. I got these at Dollar Tree. If you ordered the kit, it came with it. So no need to fret about that. I'm going to grab some moss. Spanish moss. Just going to get some wood glue around here. Oh, I noticed that you can't see it. Sorry. And then we're just going to put wood, some moss right on top here. And then if you order this kit, you also got some of this brown wire, which I cannot find. Here it is. And I'm going to wrap this around here. And then, oh, I didn't ink this. Oh, good thing it's still out. Sorry, I'm not in the camera view, and I'm making a mess of my antique wax lid. Oh, no, you know what? Let's wrap this around like that. Just like that. And if you have any left over, you could just wrap some little coil on it. To make it look like it came out of the pumpkin patch. And there you go. And I made a mess. Okay. And then this guy. This guy has wire as well. Just wish I could make this not so messy on this wire thing. And I'm just going to wrap this around here a few times. A couple of times, whatever wire you have. And try to separate it so it looks like it's okay. And then I'm going to grab my little ghost tag. I didn't ink this on the other one. Let's go ahead and ink this a little bit. Hello, Dusty. And I have some left over, so let's just wrap that around. They're kind of long. I should have probably cut them, but it'll look cuter, I think. This is just a wooden dowel. You can grab any little, the edge of your paintbrush if you want. It's kind of long, but you can cut it afterwards if you want. Okay. Then I'm just going to grab some, you know what I should get is better is antique white of some kind, because I didn't care for the white being so white on the cheeks. So let me just grab some and get a stylus and dip, dot, dot, dip, dot, dot. There we go. So these guys are done. They need to be spattered. I could spatter really quick. Let's do that really quick. Let me just grab a brush here. I don't want these to get spattered or this to get spattered. Now I'm moving everything out of the way. Okay, put that down. I think that's good. I kind of make a mess the way I spatter. There's easier ways to do it, but I kind of like this technique. I just get a brush with a little bit of water, but it does get all over the place, so be wary of that. Be careful of that. Let's do this really quick. There we go. So this set is done. Yay! That looks really good. Super cute, super cute. Okay, so let's move that aside now, and all of these pieces are done. I'm running out of room. Let's just move this up here. Let's clean off this piece of paper. Make it all messy. Okay, let's do, and I ended up getting something else on here. I had some antique wax that dripped on the table. Get a wipey and wipe that off. Okay. All right, are we good? All right. Ooh, it's only been a half hour, so that's good. Okay. Let's now stencil these faces on. Stencil the faces. Let me grab my stencils. I'm using the cat vintage and the ghost vintage. And this one is just plain black. And I'm going to grab a brush. Oh, this one's soft. We'll use this one. All right, put some fresh paint out. and it matches up perfectly. I'm just going to hold it down. Hopefully I don't mess this up. I'm going to rub most of it off. Oh, why is it so? I don't know why it's so sheer. It's great because you don't really have to do much on this. Grab some more paint. I try to blotch it first so that way there's less bleeding if you just rub it on. The drier it is, the better for it not to bleed. And then this is going to be tricky. Let me grab a smaller blendy brush. I think we're good, but let me make sure. Yay! Oh, got something on there. I'll just clean that up. Look at how cute that is, you guys. Perfect, perfect. Okay, let me grab my liner brush so I can close this little gap here on the eyes. With black. This is the only liner work you have to do. And if you didn't want to, they don't look horrible if you leave that little gap on it. I mean, I don't think people are going to be like, why is there an opening there? So this is another stencil that I had. Thank you, Dusty. I know, I just love this little vintage look. And this worked out so perfectly, this little stencil that I fell in love. You know what I'm going to do with this so I don't have to, I'm just going to put a little line there. Okay, and then for this, I'm just going to put lines on here. This is not on the stencil, so you'd have to make this yourself. Just like that. And he's done. How cute is that? Okay, now let's go on to the cat. So the cat, I'm going to get Marigold. Where's my sample cat? Oh, it's right here. Here's my sample cat, and I'm going to get a dry brush, and I'm going to dip it in Marigold, wipe most of the color off, and I'm going to highlight. Highlight before, I'm going to highlight the ears, highlight between the eyebrows. The eyes go around here. You could do this afterwards too. Let's put the face on and then we can see where else we need to highlight. Highlight the whiskers. The mouth's going to go here. Okay, let's go ahead and put the face on because we kind of need to know where it all goes. Okay, so we're first going to lay this down and we're going to do this in orange. Why is this a different size? Uh-oh. Oh, that's kind of cute though. I could have done the edges in orange. Interesting. Okay, and we're going to get orange first. Something moved on my machine, I think. And we're just going to pounce, pounce, pounce orange on here. You might have to give this 2 coats. Try not to get it on the edge of, you could always paint it black, no big deal. Get some more orange, pumpkin. So everything on this stencil is orange. You get 2 stencils with this pack. Okay, let's wait a little bit. And then pounce, pounce, pounce. And what's great about this, it's on black, so if you do seep a little bit, you can just touch it up with the black brush, the black paint and brush. These vintage ones that just make me home. Aw, that's so cute. Oops, I lifted up a little bit of it. Let's let that dry a little bit and we'll give the mouth one more coat because it looks like it's, when you use a dryer to dry your things, just don't get too close to the stencil because it will curve. So just be careful of that. Get all these brushes out. I think I'm done with these, so I can put that in the water. Beautiful. Okay, so we're done with the orange. We're going to stick that back in the water. And now with marigold, we're going to do the second stencil. And this one we're going to have to match up. You guys need to let me know if this didn't match up for you guys, the ones that did order it. Okay, so now with marigold, we're going to get, is this marigold? It looks so blotted. Let's use this brush. And again, we're going to blot because we want it pretty thick on here. Oh. No. I forgot this is the eyes. We're going to move the eyes up. Let's do this again. Don't do these. These are the pupils or the colors of the eyes. So don't do those yet. Oop, that was a lot of paint. It might seep through. This is on the orange, so it's not really, it's covering up better than the one on the black, but we're just going to give it some more coats just in case. Okay, and give it another coat. All right, let's lift that up. Nice, nice, nice. And then I should have saved that black one, darn it. Okay, so then you're just going to put these up, matching the bottom, so because you're going to put the pupil on. And with black paint, you're going to get your brush and just dab his little pupil on there. I don't really care to do two-step stencils like that because I think once you get it, you forget. Like, what was they supposed to, why are these holes there, you know? And there you go. Yay! Okay, so then all we're going to do is just get our liner brush and then just line a couple of things here. You don't have to do this liner work if you don't want to. Just thinks it makes it look a little better. I don't know why this didn't go all the way down. There we go. Yay, super cute. Okay, then we're going to get this dry brush again and go into our marigold. And then highlight a little bit more around the eyes. So yeah, you could highlight afterwards. I didn't realize. And then under the cheeks. And then the top of the mouth. Underneath the mouth. Very nice. Okay, so then with the liner brush, what did I do with my liner brush? And marigold, we're just going to add details. And this is scored on your piece of wood. You can either follow the lines or don't follow the lines. And then the eyelash, the eyebrows. And then I'm just going to get some wispies and make it look like he's got a little bit of hair there. Just like that. He's so cute. Okay, and then with black paint, I'm just gonna I'm gonna go right. You could hardly see it, but you can. I don't know how to describe that because of this white, of this yellow shading that you put. I'm just gonna go, or highlighting, I should say. I'm just gonna do something like that. All done. Okay. So that one's done. Now let's go ahead and finish up these boots. We're doing good on time. I like to stay within an hour so that way you guys don't get bored. Where's my boot? These boots were made for walking. The Dodgers walked somebody yesterday and they put that song on in Arizona. I thought it was pretty funny. That's what I do. One of these days, these boots are gonna fall. Where is my... Gosh darn it. I hadn't tried the stencil either, so I kind of wanted to try it. Let me go grab a new one. I don't know what happened to that boot stencil. This is done. Let me grab the boot stencil. I thought I had an extra one. Yep, here it is. Okay. So I painted it purple and black, and I'm just going to grab, I think I'm done with yellow, right? We're done. I'm just going to grab some black paint, and then we'll stencil all of our words as well since we're at it. And, oop, I didn't rub it on there. Hopefully it didn't seep through. And don't worry about doing the edges because we're going to sand off the edge again. So don't worry about that. See if I didn't make that much of a mess. Ta-da! And there is your boot. Let's put that aside. I'm going to put all of the words for this one on here. Let me grab some tape. So it doesn't move on me. Oh, it's whack. It's stained, so it's not going to stay, I bet. Gosh darn it. I just saw that that W is coming off. All right, let's just try to hold it here. And on the sample one, I just did Eek, Scary, and Spooky, but I'm going to do the whole thing because, and then I don't really care too much because I'm going to sand the whole top of this, you guys, and you'll see right now what I'm talking about. As I said in my last video, you could use parts of this stencil, all of this stencil. And I want to make this look more old, so that's why I'm not really caring too much how much goes on here because uh-oh, it moved on me. Darn it. Oh well. It's going to be a little crooked. It's going to look vintage, right? It's supposed to be even with my piece of wood here, and it's not. Okay. Ta-da! Look at how nice that is, you guys. Perfect. Okay, so we'll let that dry, and then we're going to sand the whole thing off. And then on this one, what I wanted to do, I want to do something a little different. Call me crazy. I have a lot of stuff going on here, guys. I'm just going to get a brush here. And this I'm going to put Frightful sideways. So I'm just going to, and I want to do it in black. So I'm just going to make it look kind of messy here where it's going to go. Let me grab it to make sure I put enough down. And of course, can't find it. I still need that. Oh my goodness. Here it is. Oh, it needs to go up more. Let me do that. And I'm just using plaster since the ghost is plaster. Let's let that dry a little bit. Let's go ahead and do In My Witchy Era for the boots. I'm going to try to hold it. It's not exactly the right size since this has been cut down. Well, you know what? Let's just go down to the bottom. That should be good. We'll hold it there. I need more black paint. Thank you, Jen. I know Lori, is it Laura or Lori? I realized afterwards, I bet you it's Lori. How do you pronounce it? Can you type that on there or no? Lore? Maybe we've talked about this before. I feel like it's deja vu. The more you work on these, Jen, the more they do. They turn out really cute. You have to be careful when you're putting things on stained pieces that don't have a color that you can clean up the stencil. I'm going to hold this like this because it's hard to clean up. So be careful when you put fresh paint down that you splot it first and then you can rub it. All right, I'm like oh, see, it's moving on me. Don't move on me. It's better if you tape it, but like I said, since I had just stained these last night, they're a little bit waxy still, making it a little harder. Ta-da! So cute. This one moved on me. Let me try to wipe that off. Where's my wipey? Did I throw it away? Here it is. The N moved, the H moved on. Is it an H? Oh, that's why. It's this middle part. So I can see, because it's stained, it lets me kind of fiddle with it a little bit. All right, let's do this again. Let's dry this and then put the H back on. Okay, let's put that H back on. We're going to just pounce this so it doesn't. So it doesn't move on me. There we go. Much better. Love it, love it. Okay, so that's done. I'm still going to hold on to this brush because I'm not done with this idea that I have. I'm hoping it works. All right, let's dry that up and then we can put Frightful on there. I hope it's big enough. Oh, I should have gone wider, huh? Let me see. Where is my... You guys, there is way too much stuff on this desk. It's crazy. Oh, he's underneath there. This is me wanting to finish a lot so that you guys have it when you have your... When you get your kits. Let's give this one more coat here. Let's go up a little bit more. And we're going to sand this off, so that's why I'm kind of excited to see what it's going to look like. And again, I'm using Frightful. I used Frightful again when I was live last time. All right, so then we're just going to place Frightful right on top of that white as best you could. Grab some more paint. Rub most of it off. That feels like it had water in it. And we're going to dab it first. And then once you feel like you don't have that much paint on it, you could just scrub it in there. I wonder if it should have gone the other way. Well, we could always move it over, I guess. Get on those little edges that doesn't want to seem to get... Beautiful. I guess we can do it this way. I don't know which way it looks better. Frightful, or maybe it should have gone this way, huh? Can't do it that way now. Okay, so we're done with that. We're just going to get our liner now. And fill in the gaps, the stencil gaps. There's a lot going on in this stencil, so that's why it helped to close up these stencil gaps. There we go. Super cute. Okay. All right, let's finish up here. Oops. Let's finish up with, oh, that was the liner brush I was looking for. With this, we're going to sand this, and this is the one I wanted to really sand off. I want it to look old, which I'm sanding most of it off just to have a background for the cat. There we go. And then we're just going to place the cat right on top. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love this. Okay, so again, if you ordered kits from me that have 1/8 inch wood, you will be getting some odds and end pieces that you could use for pop-ups. You don't have to pop it up. I like the look of it. Just going to put that right there. You guys, I love so see, this is the one I did before, and I just used the top of it. And this is the one I did after, and it looks a little bit more vintage. I don't know what orange I used on this. This is a little brighter, which is weird. I thought I used all the same oranges, but maybe not. And on this one, I made a stand for it. I thought it'd be cute, and I'll stick a bow on it somehow. Again, all of these, don't even think about how I did it. You can use these different pieces. Probably needs to be a little smaller. Oh, maybe not. So I did a stand on there. Cute, cute. So he's done. Okay, I thought this was going to help me, and it doesn't. I need to cover up that little back black piece. I don't like it. I don't like it. So that's no big deal. I can just, because I smudged on there, I'll give that a couple of coats. Let that dry. Okay. Now on the Frightful, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to sand it off. Sand the edges. And then sand the top a little bit. And I don't know what happened to my tack cloth. Okay. And then this guy will go right on top of here under Frightful, making it a little different than what I did before. This is the one I did before. And you can't really tell on here, but it is orange bow, and this is marigold. But on pictures, it looks like it's all the same color. But I promise they are. Look, I should close up the stencil gaps on there. Just realized that I should have closed this stencil gap too. This H, where'd the H go? There we go. I'll close up those stencil gaps afterwards. Okay, so again, I'm just going to grab some different little pieces on here and just glue them. Just to give it a little pop-up. Should we go this way? Which way do you think? Do you think the words should be on the left or the right? Let me know. Let me know. After this, we have the boot. And what do you guys think? Left or the right? Maybe the right, huh? What do you guys think? What do you think? Let me sand off this black here. And then we're going to ink the boot. You don't have to ink it if you don't want to. It looks fine just leaving it the color of the wood. It's whatever your heart desires. Now let me ink this. And the witch's stencil, the hat stencil will also have the hat band for you to do if you didn't want to do it by hand, making it so much easier. And then let's get this little witches in tag and then ink that edge. We took off the burnt to put back burnt. Okay, what did you guys say? That way to the right. Okay, we'll leave it to the right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, everybody said right. Okay. Let's put glue on there. And just stick that on there. Let me give this one more coat. Might need another coat. I'm going to do one more coat after that. All right. Oh my gosh. I love it, you guys. So cute. Okay. Everything's coming together. Let me wipe my hands off. I'm a big mess. Okay. I will show you everything at the end that we did. The before and after ones. Okay. So let's finish up these boots. All right. Let's take this off. Turn it over so it doesn't look so messy. And we have the spider, the belt buckle, which I got a piece of, and this. Easy peasy. So we're going to just get some glue. And glue the belt buckle. And I'm going to use Stick Fast for the spider. Just because it's so thin, I want it to adhere pretty fast. Hold it there. So that's done there. And then all we're going to do is get some jute. Let me close this off. Hold on a second. Okay. And then let me close this so I don't make a mess. Done, done. Okay. Jute. Oh, let me get the gold and see if I could. Cover up that spot really quick. There we go. Okay. My scissors. And let me wrap this a couple of times just because, just for funsies. I'm going to wrap it around once, slip in the tag. For you new people, all my designs I created myself, so you shouldn't really see these anywhere. They're all from my head. Of course, I get ideas, inspiration from Pinterest, things like that, but for the most part, sometimes I see an idea and it's so different than what you would have thought that you would have seen that I've done, which is kind of crazy. Okay, I think we're set now. Let me put that there. Does the ghost need another coat for its mouth? Let me do one more coat. My husband hates that I sand inside, and he hasn't complained lately, but I feel sand like dust all underneath my feet. I hate it. I need to really wipe down this craft area. Okay, there we go. We did 1, 2, 3, 4 projects, you guys. Crazy. Okay, and I will show you what I did before, and I'll show you what I did after, and that way you can decide how you want to make yours. Okay, some of them are not different at all. So here we go. This was before, and this was after. This is the one I did for the live sale. Oh, I forgot the eyeballs on his eyes. Let me grab some white paint and a stylus. Oh, and his little mouth has highlight too, you guys. I missed that. Okay. Dip, dot, dot, dip, dot, dot, dip, dot, 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 dot. And then with the liner, I'm just going to put a little comma stroke in here. Just like that. Oh, and on his cheeks. Didn't see his cheeks either. Little comma strokes on his cheeks. And I do see I highlighted this, so I'm going to go back. Let's just do that since I'm already here. All right, let me just grab some. I should have done this before I did the black. I'm just trying to go in between there just to give it a little bit of highlight. All right, good thing I'm doing this before and after. Totally seeing things I'm missing. Remember to do this before you put your lines in. All right. And if I want to, I think I'm going to get some burnt umber really quick and just define his little bow really quick with just a side load of burnt umber. There we go. Now he's complete. Okay. Easy peasy. Okay, that is done. So that was the before and after. Let's move this out of the way. I think this is my favorite after. This is before. And sorry, I bumped you guys. And this is after. Super cute. I like the rustic of this. Popped it up. Looks great. All right, let's put that aside because that one's done. And then this didn't change. This is before. This is exactly the same. But I do see that I got silver on his little butt. I forgot. I painted his little web silver, you guys. The only difference was I went around it double, but you can't even tell. So there's the witch's inn, along with the little sign in my witchy era. This makes a cute little addition to anybody's Halloween things. So that one's done. And then This didn't change much either. This was after and this was before, but it's basically the same. I didn't put the highlights. I decided I didn't really care for that. Oh, I did sand the boo on here. So that one didn't change much, a little bit. And then I did antique wax the ghost tag. So here we go. Everything. Oh, see, this moved on me. Shoot. Don't move on me. Okay. Everything we made today. Not this one. This one. And this one. I love this one. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you could see. Let me see if I bring it down more. Oops, I did it again. Oh my gosh, Yvonne. All right, let's bring it down a little bit. I don't know if you could see it now. Yay! Everything we made today. Oh, good. You can see it all. There you go. So when you get your kits, you know how to put everything together. There were things that I did. I'm not going to make everything. So there were things that I did that you could do on the ones that I didn't do, like the Frankenstein and the ghost, things like that. So just so you have that. But other than that, thank you for joining me today. I hope when you get your kits, you're busy putting everything together, ready for Halloween. I love this stuff, so I think it turned out really cute. Maybe I'll make a vintage guy for my next sale. So, all right, guys, you have a good rest of your weekend. And for my subscribers in my Crafted by You and Me, I will see you at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time today. Thank you for joining me. Thank you. Bye-bye.